Welcome to our channel, where we delve into the profound and often challenging topic of toxic relationships. Today we're embarking on an empowering journey, a journey that aims to illuminate the path toward emotional resilience and mental well-being in the face of toxicity. In a world where relationships play a crucial role in our happiness and personal growth, encountering toxic individuals can feel like an insurmountable obstacle. These are the people who drain our energy, undermine our self-esteem, and manipulate our emotions. They can be found in various aspects of our lives, whether at home, at work, or even among friends. Recognizing and addressing toxic behavior is essential for our mental health, yet it can be one of the most challenging things we face. Have you ever found yourself questioning your self-worth after an interaction with someone who seems to thrive on criticism and negativity? Have you felt trapped in a cycle of emotional manipulation, leaving you exhausted and frustrated? You are not alone. Many people struggle with the fallout of toxic relationships, often feeling powerless in the face of someone else's destructive behavior. But it doesn't have to be this way. Today, we will explore 13 powerful strategies rooted in the principles of Stoicism that will empower you to reclaim control over your emotional landscape. Stoicism teaches us the importance of maintaining inner peace and self-discipline in the face of adversity, and these timeless teachings can provide a solid foundation for navigating toxic relationships. From identifying toxic behavior to setting clear boundaries, mastering the art of non-reaction, and even knowing when to walk away, we will break down each strategy in detail, offering you practical tools to protect your mental health and cultivate healthier relationships. This is not just about survival, it's about thriving and finding the peace and fulfillment you deserve. So, whether you're currently grappling with a toxic relationship or simply seeking to bolster your emotional toolkit for the future, this video is for you. Let's dive in together and discover how you can empower yourself to break free from the grip of toxicity and embrace a life filled with joy, respect, and healthy connections. Number 1. Identify toxic behavior. The first and most crucial step in navigating relationships with toxic individuals is identifying toxic behavior. Toxicity often masquerades as normal behavior, making it challenging to recognize at first. However, understanding the signs and patterns of toxic behavior can empower you to protect your emotional and mental well-being. By being vigilant and observant, you can learn to discern toxic behaviors from healthy ones, enabling you to respond appropriately and set necessary boundaries. Understanding toxicity. Toxic behavior is characterized by actions, words, or attitudes that are harmful to others' emotional, mental, or physical well-being. It is not always overt or aggressive. Often it manifests subtly, leading individuals to doubt themselves or feel responsible for the toxic person's actions. Recognizing toxicity involves understanding the broader context and identifying patterns rather than isolated incidents. Common signs of toxic behavior. Manipulation. Toxic individuals often engage in manipulation to control others. This can manifest as guilt-tripping, playing the victim, or twisting situations to their advantage. For example, they may use phrases like, "If you really cared about me, you would," to guilt you into doing something against your will. Manipulative behavior often leaves you feeling confused, guilty, or responsible for their happiness. Criticism and judgment. Frequent, harsh criticism is a hallmark of toxic behavior. This criticism is often not constructive. Instead, it aims to belittle or undermine your self-esteem. A toxic person may constantly point out your flaws, compare you unfavorably to others, or dismiss your achievements. Such behavior fosters feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt, making you question your worth. Negativity and pessimism. Toxic individuals frequently exhibit a negative outlook on life. Their relentless pessimism can drain your energy and enthusiasm, leaving you feeling weighed down and defeated. They may criticize your dreams, point out potential failures, or express disdain for your successes, creating an environment of emotional heaviness. Gaslighting, this insidious form of manipulation, involves making someone question their reality or sanity. A toxic person may deny things they said or did, insisting that you are misremembering events. For instance, they might say, "You're overreacting, that never happened," leading you to doubt your perceptions and experiences. Gaslighting erodes your confidence and makes you reliant on the toxic individual's version of reality. Boundary violations. Toxic individuals often disregard personal boundaries, whether emotional, physical, or psychological. They may pressure you into sharing personal information, invade your privacy, or dismiss your needs. Recognizing that your boundaries are consistently disrespected is a critical sign of toxic behavior. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect and understanding of each other's limits. Control and domination. A toxic person may attempt to control various aspects of your life, including your relationships, activities, and decisions. This can manifest as jealousy, possessiveness, or a need to dictate what you should do. A partner who insists on monitoring your social interactions, or a friend who tries to control your choices, is exhibiting toxic behavior that can stifle your autonomy and freedom. Emotional blackmail. This occurs when someone uses your emotions against you to manipulate your behavior. For example, they might threaten to withdraw affection, create conflict, or punish you if you don't comply with their demands. This tactic creates a sense of fear and obligation, making you feel trapped in the relationship. Dismissiveness. Toxic individuals often dismiss your feelings, concerns, or needs. They may trivialize your emotions, saying things like, "You're overreacting," or "It's not a big deal." This dismissiveness fosters an environment where you feel invalidated and unheard, leading to feelings of isolation and frustration. Instability and volatility. Relationships with toxic individuals can be marked by emotional instability. One moment, they may be warm and affectionate. The next, they are cold and distant. This inconsistency can create confusion and anxiety, as you find yourself constantly trying to navigate their unpredictable moods and reactions. How to identify toxic behavior. Recognizing toxic behavior requires self-awareness and reflection. Here are some steps to help you identify toxicity in your relationships. Reflect on your feelings. Pay attention to how interactions with certain individuals make you feel. Do you often feel drained, anxious, or unhappy after spending time with them? A consistent sense of unease or discomfort is a significant indicator of toxicity. Notice patterns. Look for recurring behaviors that cause you distress. Toxicity often manifests as a pattern rather than isolated incidents. Take note of how frequently you encounter manipulation, criticism, or other negative behaviors. Trust your instincts. If something feels off in a relationship, trust your instincts. Your gut feelings are powerful indicators of whether someone's behavior is harmful to you. Don't ignore feelings of discomfort or unease. They can be critical signals that you're dealing with toxic individuals. Seek external perspectives. Sometimes it can be helpful to discuss your experiences with trusted friends or family members. They may offer valuable insights and help you see patterns or behaviors you might have overlooked. Educate yourself. Familiarize yourself with literature on toxic relationships and emotional abuse. Understanding the characteristics of toxic behavior can enhance your ability to identify it in your own life. Conclusion. Identifying toxic behavior is the essential first step toward establishing healthier boundaries and protecting your emotional well-being. By recognizing the signs of manipulation, criticism, negativity, gaslighting, and control, you empower yourself to make informed decisions about your relationships. Acknowledging that toxicity can manifest in various forms, often subtly, enables you to respond proactively rather than reactively. Remember, identifying toxic behavior is not about assigning blame, it's about taking responsibility for your emotional health. By becoming aware of toxic dynamics in your life, you lay the groundwork for healing, growth, and the establishment of healthier relationships. As you recognize toxic patterns, you empower yourself to set boundaries, prioritize self-care, and ultimately create a life free from the negative influence of toxic individuals. Number 2, understand. It's not personal. One of the most liberating realizations in dealing with toxic people is understanding that their behavior is often not a reflection of you, but rather a manifestation of their own issues. This understanding can help you detach emotionally from their toxicity, allowing you to navigate interactions with greater clarity and peace. When you recognize that toxic behavior stems from the individual's internal struggles, you can begin to separate yourself from their negative actions and reactions, minimizing the emotional impact they have on you. The nature of toxicity. Toxicity is rarely about the individual on the receiving end of it. Instead, it typically originates from deep-seated insecurities, unresolved trauma, or a need for control and validation in the toxic person's life. For example, someone who constantly criticizes you may be battling their own feelings of inadequacy or low self-esteem. Their need to belittle others often serves as a misguided attempt to elevate their own self-worth. Understanding this context can help you see that their behavior is more about them than it is about you. Personalization versus contextualization. When we experience toxic behavior, our instinct is often to internalize it, taking it personally. We may think, "What did I do wrong?" or "Am I not good enough?" This line of thinking can lead to self-doubt and emotional turmoil. However, recognizing that their actions are rooted in their own struggles allows you to contextualize their behavior rather than personalize it. Instead of seeing yourself as the target of their toxicity, shift your perspective to view their actions as expressions of their own pain, frustration, or lack of emotional intelligence. This shift in thinking is essential for preserving your mental health and emotional well-being. The role of projection. Toxic individuals often project their insecurities and unresolved issues onto others. This projection occurs when they transfer their negative feelings, fears, or inadequacies onto you. For instance, if someone feels threatened by your success, they may lash out with jealousy or criticism, attempting to bring you down to their level. This behavior is less about you and more about their inability to cope with their feelings. Recognizing projection can help you depersonalize their hurtful actions, reminding you that their behavior reflects their struggles, not your worth. Detaching emotionally. Understanding that toxic behavior is not personal can facilitate emotional detachment. This doesn't mean you should become cold or indifferent. Rather, it allows you to engage with the individual without absorbing their negativity. You can acknowledge their behavior without letting it define your self-esteem or dictate your emotional responses. When you encounter toxic comments or actions, remind yourself that their issues are theirs to manage. You can respond to their negativity with empathy while maintaining your boundaries. This emotional detachment enables you to protect your own mental space, allowing you to approach interactions with a sense of clarity rather than defensiveness. Building resilience. By recognizing that toxic behavior is not personal, you build resilience against its emotional impact. This resilience comes from understanding that you are not responsible for their feelings or reactions. You can focus on your own emotional health without being dragged into their cycle of negativity. When faced with toxicity, practice affirmations that reinforce your worth. Remind yourself that their behavior does not diminish your value or abilities. This internal dialogue fosters a sense of empowerment, enabling you to maintain your confidence despite external negativity. The power of compassion. Another aspect of understanding that toxicity is not personal involves cultivating compassion for both yourself and the toxic individual. While it's essential to protect yourself from harmful behavior, recognizing that toxic people may be acting out of their own pain can create a sense of empathy. This doesn't mean excusing their behavior, but rather acknowledging that their struggles may be driving them to act destructively. By adopting a compassionate perspective, you can detach from feelings of anger or frustration, allowing you to respond more thoughtfully. This approach can help you navigate the situation with a level head and prevent you from becoming embroiled in emotional conflicts. Conclusion. Understanding that toxic behavior is not personal is a powerful realization that can significantly impact your emotional well-being. By contextualizing their actions, recognizing the role of projection, and fostering emotional detachment, you can protect yourself from the harmful effects of toxic individuals. This understanding empowers you to approach toxic interactions with greater resilience and compassion, freeing you from the emotional burden of internalizing their negativity. Remember, their actions reflect their issues, not your worth. By maintaining this perspective, you can reclaim your emotional strength, establish healthier boundaries, and navigate your relationships with clarity and confidence. Number 3. Set clear boundaries. Setting clear boundaries is essential for protecting your emotional and mental well-being when dealing with toxic individuals. Boundaries serve as guidelines for what is acceptable and unacceptable behavior, allowing you to maintain control over your interactions and prevent others from overstepping your limits. Establishing and communicating these boundaries can be challenging, especially if you are accustomed to accommodating others at the expense of your own needs. However, learning to assert your boundaries is a crucial step in reclaiming your power and fostering healthier relationships. Understanding the importance of boundaries. Boundaries are not about building walls. They are about defining your personal space and ensuring your comfort and safety in relationships. They help you articulate your needs, protect your energy, and maintain your sense of self. When boundaries are clear, both you and the toxic person understand the limits of your interactions, which reduces misunderstandings and conflicts. Without boundaries, toxic individuals may take advantage of your kindness, push your limits, and invade your emotional space. They may manipulate situations to get what they want, leaving you feeling drained and resentful. By setting clear boundaries, you assert your right to protect yourself and communicate that you will no longer tolerate unacceptable behavior. Identifying your boundaries. Before you can set clear boundaries, it's crucial to identify what they are. Reflect on your experiences with toxic people and consider the following questions. What behaviors make you uncomfortable? Think about specific actions or words that have affected your emotional well-being. This could include criticism, manipulation, or emotional outbursts. What do you need to feel safe and respected? Identify your emotional needs and what you require from your relationships to feel valued. This could include honesty, support, or the freedom to express yourself without fear of judgment. What are your non-negotiables? Determine the behaviors that you will not tolerate under any circumstances. These are your hard limits that must be communicated clearly to others. By understanding your boundaries, you can articulate them confidently and effectively. Communicating boundaries assertively. Once you've identified your boundaries, it's essential to communicate them clearly and assertively. This can be intimidating, especially if you are not used to standing up for yourself. Here are some tips for effective communication. Be direct and specific. Use clear language to express your boundaries. For example, instead of saying, "I don't like it when you criticize me," you might say, "I need you to stop making negative comments about my work. It's important for me to feel supported." Use I statements. Frame your boundaries using I statements to express your feelings without sounding accusatory. This helps the other person understand your perspective without feeling attacked. For instance, "I feel overwhelmed when you demand my time without asking if I'm available." Stay calm and confident. Deliver your message calmly and with confidence. Even if the toxic person reacts negatively, maintaining your composure reinforces your commitment to your boundaries. Avoid over-explanation. You don't owe anyone an extensive justification for your boundaries. Keep your explanations concise and to the point. For example, "I can't participate in this discussion right now because it's too stressful for me." Enforcing your boundaries. Setting boundaries is only the first step. Enforcing them consistently is equally important. Toxic individuals may test your limits or try to manipulate you into abandoning your boundaries. Here are some strategies to help you enforce your boundaries effectively. Be consistent. Consistency is key when it comes to enforcing boundaries. If you communicate a boundary, follow through on it every time. For example, if you've stated that you won't engage in conversations about a specific topic, avoid discussing it even if the other person pushes for it. Use the broken record technique. When faced with resistance or attempts to undermine your boundaries, calmly repeat your stance without getting drawn into an argument. For example, if someone persists in criticizing you despite your request for them to stop, simply say, "I've asked you to stop. I won't engage in this discussion." Follow through with consequences. If someone continually violates your boundaries, be prepared to enforce consequences. This might mean limiting contact with them or seeking support from others to help you maintain your boundaries. For instance, if a friend constantly disrespects your need for personal space, you might need to take a break from the friendship until they respect your boundaries. The power of boundaries. Establishing and enforcing boundaries can be transformative. Not only do they protect your mental and emotional health, but they also send a powerful message to toxic individuals. You will not tolerate their behavior. When you set clear boundaries, you demonstrate self-respect and self-worth. You are teaching others how to treat you and encouraging them to reflect on their behavior. Healthy boundaries can also enhance your relationships with those who respect them, fostering mutual understanding and support. Number 4, master the art of non-reaction. In a world filled with toxic behavior, mastering the art of non-reaction is one of the most powerful tools you can develop. Toxic individuals often thrive on eliciting emotional responses from others. They may provoke, criticize, or manipulate in an effort to gain control or draw you into their drama. By learning to respond with calmness and clarity rather than emotional turmoil, you can protect your well-being and take back the power that toxic people attempt to siphon away. Understanding non-reaction. Non-reaction does not mean indifference or disengagement. Rather, it's a conscious choice to maintain your emotional stability despite external provocations. It involves recognizing that you cannot control other people's actions, but you can control your responses. By choosing how you react, you refuse to be manipulated by the toxic behavior of others. When you practice non-reaction, you create a buffer between yourself and the chaos that toxic individuals often generate. This buffer allows you to observe their behavior without becoming emotionally entangled, helping you maintain clarity and composure. Cultivating emotional awareness. The first step in mastering non-reaction is developing emotional awareness. This means being in tune with your feelings and recognizing when a toxic person is attempting to provoke a reaction from you. Here are some strategies to enhance your emotional awareness. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness involves paying attention to your thoughts and feelings in the present moment without judgment. Regular mindfulness practice can help you become more aware of your emotional triggers and how you typically respond to stress. Techniques like meditation, deep breathing, and grounding exercises can foster mindfulness. Recognize triggers. Identify specific behaviors or situations that tend to provoke strong emotional reactions in you. Understanding your triggers allows you to prepare for potential confrontations and choose your responses more deliberately. Pause before reacting. When you sense a toxic person attempting to provoke you, take a moment to pause. This brief pause can help you avoid knee-jerk reactions driven by emotion. Use this time to breathe deeply, assess the situation, and choose a measured response. Responding with intent. Once you cultivate emotional awareness, the next step is learning to respond with intent rather than react impulsively. Here's how to respond effectively when faced with toxic behavior. Maintain composure. Keeping a calm demeanor can diffuse tension and prevent the situation from escalating. Practice deep breathing or grounding techniques to center yourself before responding. If you feel your emotions rising, take a step back to collect your thoughts. Use neutral language. When addressing toxic behavior, use neutral, non-confrontational language. Instead of responding with anger or defensiveness, calmly state your observations. For example, you might say, "I noticed that you raised your voice, and I prefer to discuss this calmly." Set clear expectations. When responding to toxic individuals, it's essential to set clear expectations for future interactions. Let them know what behavior you will not tolerate and what you need instead. For example, "I am open to discussing this, but I need you to speak to me respectfully." Choose your battles wisely. Not every toxic interaction warrants a response. Sometimes the best choice is to disengage entirely, especially if engaging would only escalate the situation. Assess whether responding is necessary or if it's better to walk away. The power of detachment. Detaching emotionally from the behavior of toxic individuals allows you to view situations objectively rather than personally. Here are some ways to cultivate detachment. Shift your perspective. Instead of internalizing toxic behavior as a reflection of your worth, reframe your perspective. Understand that toxic individuals often project their insecurities and frustrations onto others. Their actions say more about them than they do about you. Practice self-compassion. Remind yourself that you deserve kindness and respect. When faced with toxicity, acknowledge your feelings and validate your experiences. This self-compassion helps you detach from the negativity others may project onto you. Focus on solutions, not problems. When dealing with toxic individuals, direct your energy toward finding solutions rather than dwelling on the negativity. Ask yourself how you can navigate the situation more effectively or what boundaries you need to reinforce. Reclaiming your power. By mastering the art of non-reaction, you reclaim your power from toxic individuals. Their attempts to provoke you lose their effectiveness, as you no longer provide them with the emotional responses they seek. This shift in your behavior not only protects your emotional well-being, but also changes the dynamic of your interactions. When toxic people realize that their tactics no longer elicit the desired reactions, they may become less aggressive and more respectful. By refusing to engage in their drama, you set a precedent for how you expect to be treated. Practicing non-reaction in real life. Applying non-reaction in everyday situations can take practice, but the benefits are profound. Here are some practical tips for incorporating non-reaction into your life. Role-playing scenarios. Consider role-playing potential interactions with a friend or therapist. Practicing how to respond calmly to toxic behavior can build your confidence and prepare you for real-life situations. Use affirmations. Create positive affirmations that reinforce your commitment to non-reaction. Phrases like, "I choose peace," or "Their words do not define me," can serve as reminders of your strength in the face of toxicity. Reflect on your responses. After challenging interactions, take time to reflect on how you responded. Consider what worked well and where you could improve. This reflection can guide your growth and strengthen your ability to practice non-reaction. Number 5. Use the gray rock method. When dealing with toxic individuals, especially those who thrive on drama and emotional manipulation, it can feel overwhelming to engage with them. The gray rock method is a powerful strategy designed to create emotional distance and protect yourself from toxic interactions. By becoming as uninteresting and unresponsive as a gray rock, you can discourage their attention and regain control over your emotional well-being. What is the gray rock method? The gray rock method involves deliberately making yourself less engaging and emotionally responsive to toxic individuals. By presenting yourself as a gray rock, someone who is dull, uninteresting, and lacking emotional reactions, you can minimize their interest in provoking you. This technique is particularly effective for dealing with narcissists or individuals who feed off drama and attention. The goal is to reduce the emotional energy you expend during interactions with these toxic people, making it clear that you are not a source of drama or validation. Essentially, you are creating a barrier that protects your emotional health while depriving the toxic person of the satisfaction they seek from manipulating or controlling you. How to implement the gray rock method? Using the gray rock method effectively requires practice and intentionality. Here are some steps to help you incorporate this technique into your interactions. Be boring and dull. When interacting with the toxic individual, keep your responses neutral and devoid of emotion. Share minimal information about your life, interests, and feelings. Instead of engaging in discussions that invite drama, stick to simple topics or mundane updates. For example, if they ask about your weekend, you might respond with something like, "I stayed home and caught up on some work." Avoid sharing details that could elicit an emotional response or provoke further questioning. Limit emotional responses. Practice maintaining a calm and neutral demeanor during interactions. Even if the toxic person attempts to provoke you, resist the urge to react emotionally. Keep your facial expressions and body language relaxed and non-confrontational. If they criticize you or make negative comments, respond with a simple nod or a nonchalant, "That's interesting," rather than engaging in a defensive or emotional reaction. Avoid personal topics. Steer clear of discussing personal feelings, experiences, or opinions. Toxic individuals often latch onto sensitive subjects to exploit your vulnerabilities. By keeping conversations superficial, you deny them the ammunition they seek. For instance, instead of sharing your thoughts on a recent life event, opt for general topics like the weather, current events, or common interests that lack emotional depth. Practice minimalism in communication. Use short, concise responses that convey little information. The goal is to discourage further engagement or probing questions. The less you say, the less opportunity they have to manipulate the conversation. If they ask a question, respond briefly and then redirect the conversation to a more neutral topic. For example, if they inquire about a personal issue, reply with, "I'm handling it," and pivot to a topic like a movie or book you've seen recently. Set boundaries. While using the grey rock method, it's essential to set clear boundaries. Let the toxic person know what behaviors you won't tolerate. If they cross those boundaries, calmly reiterate your limits without escalating the situation. For instance, if they engage in gossip or personal attacks, you might say, "I prefer to keep our conversations positive." This assertive yet neutral statement reinforces your boundaries while adhering to the grey rock approach. Limit contact. While the grey rock method can be effective, it's also important to consider limiting your contact with toxic individuals whenever possible. Reducing interactions can lessen their impact on your emotional well-being. If you must maintain contact due to family or work obligations, use the grey rock strategy selectively, ensuring that your emotional safety remains a priority. Benefits of the grey rock method. The grey rock method offers several advantages for those navigating toxic relationships. Emotional protection. By disengaging emotionally, you create a protective barrier that reduces the likelihood of being hurt or manipulated by toxic individuals. This method allows you to maintain your peace of mind in challenging situations. Discouraging attention. When toxic individuals realize that their attempts to provoke you are ineffective, they may lose interest in pursuing you. Your uninteresting responses can deter them from seeking further engagement. Empowerment. Implementing the grey rock method gives you a sense of control over your interactions. By consciously choosing to disengage, you reclaim your power and minimize the influence toxic individuals have over your life. Mental clarity. Reducing emotional turmoil leads to increased mental clarity. With less energy devoted to navigating toxic interactions, you can focus on your well-being and pursue healthier relationships. Potential challenges. While the grey rock method is effective, it can also present challenges. Here are some considerations. Guilt and anxiety. You may feel guilty for not engaging more deeply with the toxic individual or for appearing emotionally detached. It's crucial to remind yourself that prioritizing your well-being is not selfish. It's essential for your mental health. Escalation of behavior. In some cases, toxic individuals may escalate their behavior when they sense a lack of emotional response. If this occurs, it's important to remain steadfast in your commitment to the grey rock method and reinforce your boundaries. Need for support. If you find it difficult to implement the grey rock method, or if you feel overwhelmed by the toxicity, consider seeking support from trusted friends, family members, or a mental health professional. They can provide guidance and encouragement as you navigate these challenging dynamics. Number 6. The broken record technique. When faced with toxic individuals who often disregard boundaries or manipulate conversations, it's crucial to have effective strategies for maintaining your stance and protecting your emotional well-being. The broken record technique is a simple yet powerful method for asserting your needs and reinforcing your boundaries without getting drawn into lengthy discussions or arguments. By consistently repeating your message, like a broken record, you can maintain clarity and prevent the toxic person from derailing the conversation. What is the broken record technique? The broken record technique involves calmly and assertively repeating your message or boundary whenever a toxic person attempts to manipulate, argue, or shift the conversation. The idea is to remain steadfast in your stance, refusing to engage in any further debate or justification. This technique is especially useful when dealing with individuals who thrive on conflict and may try to provoke an emotional response from you. By using this method, you signal to the toxic person that you are not willing to entertain their attempts to sidestep your boundaries or engage in emotional manipulation. It emphasizes your determination to prioritize your needs without getting entangled in their toxic behaviors. How to implement the broken record technique. Here are some steps to effectively use the broken record technique in your interactions with toxic individuals. Identify your key message. Before you engage with the toxic person, clearly identify the message or boundary you want to communicate. This could be a specific request, a limit on their behavior, or a statement about your feelings. For example, if you need to set a boundary about personal attacks, your key message could be, "I will not engage in conversations where I am being insulted." Stay calm and assertive. Approach the conversation with a calm and assertive demeanor. Confidence is key when employing the broken record technique, as it reinforces your message and demonstrates your commitment to your boundaries. Use a steady tone of voice and maintain eye contact to convey that you mean what you say. Repeat your message. When the toxic person attempts to manipulate the conversation or argue against your boundary, calmly and consistently repeat your key message. This may feel repetitive, but repetition is essential to reinforce your stance. For instance, if they say, "You're overreacting, I was just joking," respond with, "I will not engage in conversations where I am being insulted." Repeat this statement as many times as necessary to emphasize your point. Avoid justifying or explaining. Resist the urge to justify or explain your boundaries. Toxic individuals often use explanations as opportunities to challenge your position or provoke further discussion. By sticking to your message without elaborating, you prevent them from shifting the focus. If they try to engage you in a debate, simply restate your message. "I will not engage in conversations where I am being insulted." Keep it short and to the point. Maintain your position. If the toxic person continues to argue or divert the conversation, remain firm in your response. Consistency is key. Don't waver or change your message based on their attempts to provoke you. If necessary, repeat your message several times until they understand that you are not backing down. If they persist in their behavior, consider walking away from the conversation altogether, as maintaining your boundaries is paramount. Know when to walk away. If the toxic person continues to disregard your boundaries despite your repeated message, it's important to recognize when to disengage. Walking away is a powerful way to protect your emotional well-being and reinforce that their behavior is unacceptable. Politely excuse yourself from the situation by saying something like, "I'm done discussing this. I'll talk to you later." This reinforces your boundary while preventing further engagement. Benefits of the broken record technique. The broken record technique offers several advantages for managing interactions with toxic individuals. Clarity. By consistently repeating your message, you provide clear communication about your boundaries and needs. This clarity helps eliminate misunderstandings and reinforces your position. Reduction of emotional manipulation. Toxic individuals often thrive on emotional responses and attempts to provoke you. The broken record technique allows you to remain emotionally detached while asserting your boundaries, reducing their influence over you. Increased confidence. Practicing this technique can boost your confidence in setting boundaries. The more you assert yourself, the more empowered you become in navigating difficult conversations. Deterrence of further manipulation. When toxic individuals realize that their attempts to provoke you are ineffective, they may be less likely to continue engaging in manipulative behavior. Your firmness can discourage them from seeking to challenge your boundaries in the future. Potential challenges. While the broken record technique is effective, it can come with its own set of challenges. Emotional resistance. You may feel emotional resistance when repeatedly asserting your boundaries, especially if the toxic person reacts negatively. It's important to remind yourself that you have the right to protect your emotional health. Guilt. Setting boundaries can sometimes lead to feelings of guilt, especially if the toxic person tries to portray you as the unreasonable one. Remember that prioritizing your well-being is not selfish. It's a necessary step in maintaining your mental health. Escalation of behavior. Some toxic individuals may escalate their behavior when faced with resistance. If this occurs, it's essential to remain steadfast in your commitment to your boundaries and seek to disengage if necessary. Number 7. Limit exposure to toxic people. In the journey of protecting your emotional and mental well-being, one of the most effective strategies is to limit your exposure to toxic individuals. Toxic people can drain your energy, disrupt your peace of mind, and create an atmosphere of negativity that permeates your life. By consciously choosing how much time and energy you invest in these relationships, you can significantly improve your overall quality of life and foster healthier interactions. Understanding the importance of limiting exposure. Limiting exposure to toxic people is not about being rude or unkind. It's about prioritizing your well-being. The reality is that toxic individuals can have a profound impact on your mental and emotional health. They can lead to increased stress, anxiety, and feelings of inadequacy. By minimizing your interactions with these individuals, you are taking proactive steps to safeguard your emotional health and create a more positive environment for yourself. Strategies to limit exposure. Here are several practical strategies to help you effectively limit your exposure to toxic people. Evaluate your relationships. Take a close look at the relationships in your life. Identify the individuals who consistently exhibit toxic behaviors such as manipulation, constant criticism, or negativity. Consider the impact these relationships have on your overall well-being. Make a list of people who drain your energy versus those who uplift and support you. This can help clarify which relationships need boundaries. Set clear boundaries. Once you've identified toxic individuals in your life, establish clear boundaries regarding how much time and energy you are willing to invest in these relationships. Communicate your boundaries assertively and stick to them. For instance, if a colleague is overly critical, you might decide to limit your interactions to professional discussions only, avoiding personal topics that lead to negativity. Choose your social interactions wisely. Be intentional about the social gatherings and events you attend. If you know certain individuals will be present and their behavior is likely to be toxic, consider skipping the event or finding an excuse to leave early. Surround yourself with positive influences and supportive friends who uplift you. Opt for gatherings that foster positivity and encourage healthy interactions. Practice the power of no. One of the most empowering skills you can develop is the ability to say no. When toxic individuals invite you to engage in activities that make you uncomfortable or are likely to drain your energy, practice saying no without feeling guilty. You might say, "I appreciate the invitation, but I need to focus on my own well-being right now." Learning to say no is an essential aspect of self-care and boundary setting. Limit digital interactions. In today's digital age, Limiting exposure to toxic individuals extends beyond physical interactions. Consider your online presence and the impact that social media can have on your emotional well-being. Unfollow or mute individuals who consistently spread negativity or engage in toxic behavior online. Curate your social media feeds to include content and people that inspire and uplift you. Create physical distance. If possible, create physical distance from toxic individuals. This might mean changing your work environment, finding a different social circle, or even relocating if the toxicity is deeply ingrained in your current surroundings. Physical distance can help you gain perspective and reduce the emotional burden that toxic relationships impose. Engage in self-care activities. Invest your time and energy into self-care activities that promote your mental and emotional health. Whether it's engaging in hobbies, practicing mindfulness, or spending time in nature, make self-care a priority. By focusing on activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, you can counteract the negative effects of toxic relationships and reinforce your resilience. Seek support. Surround yourself with supportive friends and family who understand your situation and can offer encouragement. Engage in conversations with people who provide a safe space for you to express your feelings and experiences. Consider seeking professional support, such as therapy or counseling, to help navigate the complexities of dealing with toxic individuals and to reinforce your boundaries. Recognizing the signs of toxicity. As you work on limiting exposure to toxic people, it's important to recognize the signs of toxicity in relationships. Common signs include manipulation, consistent attempts to control or influence your decisions and emotions; criticism, constant negative feedback that undermines your self-esteem and confidence; negativity, a persistent focus on the negative aspects of life, draining your energy and enthusiasm; lack of support, unwillingness to celebrate your achievements or offer support during difficult times. By identifying these signs, you can better assess the impact of your relationships and make informed decisions about limiting exposure. Embracing the benefits of reduced exposure. Limiting exposure to toxic people offers numerous benefits. Improved mental health. Reduced interactions with toxic individuals can lead to decreased stress, anxiety, and emotional turmoil, fostering a healthier mindset. Enhanced self-esteem. By distancing yourself from negativity, you create an environment where you can rebuild your self-esteem and confidence. Increased focus on personal growth. With less time spent on toxic relationships, you can redirect your energy toward personal development and activities that align with your goals and values. Stronger relationships. Limiting exposure allows you to nurture and strengthen your connections with positive, supportive individuals who contribute to your well-being. Conclusion: limiting exposure to toxic people is a crucial step in taking control of your emotional and mental health. By evaluating your relationships, setting clear boundaries, and being intentional about your social interactions, you can create a more positive environment that fosters personal growth and fulfillment. Number 8. Build your support system. One of the most vital steps in dealing with toxic people is to cultivate a strong support system. Surrounding yourself with positive, encouraging individuals can significantly bolster your emotional resilience and provide you with the necessary resources to navigate difficult relationships. A robust support system serves as your safety net, helping you regain perspective, find strength, and maintain your mental health in the face of toxicity. Understanding the importance of a support system. A support system consists of people who genuinely care about your well-being and contribute positively to your life. These may include friends, family members, colleagues, mentors, or even support groups. The importance of building a strong support system cannot be overstated, especially when dealing with toxic individuals. Here's why. Emotional validation. When you share your experiences with supportive individuals, they provide emotional validation. They listen without judgment and help you process your feelings, reinforcing that you are not alone in your struggles. This emotional support is crucial when navigating the confusion and hurt often caused by toxic relationships. Perspective and clarity. Those within your support system can offer fresh perspectives on your situation, helping you see things from different angles. This clarity can be invaluable when dealing with the emotional turmoil that toxic people often create. Friends and family can help you identify unhealthy patterns in your relationships and encourage you to make positive changes. Encouragement and motivation. A strong support system provides motivation to stay committed to your well-being. They cheer you on, celebrate your successes, and remind you of your worth, reinforcing your resolve to distance yourself from toxic influences. This encouragement can be particularly helpful during challenging moments when you might feel tempted to revert to old patterns of behavior. Safe spaces for expression. Having a network of supportive individuals gives you safe spaces to express your thoughts and feelings. You can openly discuss your experiences without fear of judgment, allowing you to vent and heal. These safe spaces promote emotional healing and foster a sense of belonging, which is essential when feeling isolated by toxic relationships. Practical support. A solid support system can also provide practical help when navigating toxic relationships. This might involve advice on how to handle difficult conversations, strategies for boundary setting, or even assistance in creating distance from toxic individuals. Whether it's someone to confide in, a shoulder to lean on, or a partner to help you enact changes in your life, practical support can make a significant difference. Steps to build your support system. Building a supportive network involves intentional actions and a commitment to nurturing positive relationships. Here are some practical steps to help you develop your support system. Identify your supporters. Begin by identifying individuals in your life who demonstrate supportive behaviors. These may be friends who listen without judgment, family members who respect your boundaries, or colleagues who uplift you. Consider individuals who make you feel safe, valued, and understood. Reflect on your interactions with them and how they impact your emotional well-being. Reach out. Once you've identified potential supporters, take the initiative to reach out. Schedule coffee dates, phone calls, or virtual hangouts to strengthen your connections. Don't be afraid to express your need for support. Honesty fosters deeper connections. Share your experiences with toxic individuals and let them know you appreciate their presence in your life. Engage in supportive communities. Consider joining groups or communities that align with your interests or struggles. This could include local meetups, online forums, or social media groups focused on mental health, self-care, or personal development. Engaging with supportive communities allows you to connect with others who share similar experiences, providing you with additional emotional resources. Nurture existing relationships. Investing time and effort into existing relationships is essential for building a solid support system. Make an effort to reach out to friends and family regularly, checking in and expressing appreciation for their support. Engage in activities together that foster connection, whether it's shared hobbies, outings, or simply spending quality time together. Set boundaries with unsupportive individuals. As you build your support system, it's crucial to recognize and limit interactions with those who may undermine your progress. This might mean setting boundaries with individuals who consistently drain your energy or offer unsolicited criticism. Be firm in your boundaries. ensuring that your time and emotional resources are reserved for those who uplift and support you. Seek professional support. Consider seeking professional help, such as therapy or counseling, to further bolster your support system. A trained therapist can provide valuable insights, coping strategies, and a safe space to explore your feelings. Professional support can complement your personal relationships, offering an additional layer of guidance and understanding. Reciprocate support. Building a support system is a two-way street. Be sure to offer your support to others in your network. Listen to their struggles, provide encouragement, and create a safe space for them to express their feelings. By reciprocating support, you strengthen your connections and foster a sense of community, which enhances the overall resilience of your support system. Practice gratitude. Cultivating an attitude of gratitude can enhance your relationships. Regularly express appreciation for those who support you, whether through verbal affirmations, handwritten notes, or small acts of kindness. Gratitude reinforces positive connections and encourages a cycle of support and appreciation within your network. Embracing the benefits of a support system. Building a strong support system offers numerous benefits that contribute to your overall well-being. Increased resilience. With a network of supportive individuals, you are better equipped to handle challenges and navigate difficult situations, enhancing your resilience. Enhanced self-worth. Supportive relationships reinforce your sense of self-worth and help you recognize your value, countering the negative effects of toxic interactions. Greater emotional stability. A strong support system provides emotional stability, reducing feelings of isolation and promoting a sense of belonging. Improved coping strategies. Engaging with supportive individuals can expose you to new coping strategies and perspectives, enriching your toolkit for managing difficult situations. Conclusion. Building a strong support system is an essential strategy in dealing with toxic people and protecting your mental and emotional well-being. By surrounding yourself with positive influences, nurturing existing relationships, and seeking support from professionals and communities, you empower yourself to navigate the challenges of toxic interactions. Number 9. Prioritize self-care. In the journey of managing toxic relationships, prioritizing self-care is not merely a luxury, it's an absolute necessity. Toxic individuals can sap your emotional and mental energy, leaving you feeling drained, overwhelmed, and vulnerable to burnout. Self-care acts as your emotional armor, protecting you from the corrosive effects of these relationships and ensuring you remain resilient in the face of negativity. Understanding self-care. Self-care encompasses a range of practices and habits that promote your overall well-being, emotionally, mentally, and physically. It's about making intentional choices that prioritize your needs and nurture your health, ultimately enabling you to thrive despite external challenges. Self-care is not just about pampering yourself, it's a fundamental aspect of maintaining balance in your life. Emotional well-being. Emotional self-care involves recognizing your feelings and understanding the impact that toxic people have on your emotional health. This might include journaling your thoughts, seeking therapy, or simply allowing yourself to feel and express emotions without judgment. Engaging in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, such as spending time with loved ones, pursuing hobbies, or practicing mindfulness, can significantly enhance your emotional resilience. Mental clarity. Mental self-care focuses on cultivating a clear and positive mindset. This includes engaging in activities that stimulate your mind, such as reading, learning a new skill, or practicing meditation and mindfulness. Prioritizing mental health involves setting aside time to reflect on your experiences, understanding your triggers, and developing strategies to cope with the stress that toxic individuals may bring into your life. Physical health. Physical self-care is equally important and involves maintaining a healthy lifestyle through proper nutrition, exercise, and adequate sleep. Toxic relationships can lead to neglecting physical health, so it's crucial to prioritize your body as part of your overall self-care strategy. Regular physical activity can help release endorphins, which naturally elevate your mood and combat the stress brought on by toxic interactions. Nourishing your body with wholesome foods can also enhance your energy levels and improve your overall sense of well-being. The importance of self-care in the context of toxic relationships, rejuvenation and recovery. Engaging in self-care activities allows you to recharge your batteries, providing the necessary respite from the emotional drain of toxic individuals. It's essential to carve out time for yourself to recuperate and heal from the toll that toxic interactions can take. Whether it's taking a walk in nature, indulging in a relaxing bath, or spending time in quiet contemplation, self-care rituals help you reconnect with yourself and regain your sense of balance. Setting boundaries. Prioritizing self-care means recognizing your limits and setting clear boundaries. It's about knowing when to say no, protecting your time, and ensuring you're not sacrificing your well-being for the sake of others. By establishing and enforcing boundaries, you send a clear message that you value your mental and emotional health, which can deter toxic individuals from encroaching on your space. Empowerment and agency. Self-care empowers you to take control of your life and make choices that reflect your needs. It reinforces the notion that you have the right to prioritize yourself and your well-being, regardless of external pressures or expectations from toxic individuals. This sense of agency can be incredibly liberating. When you consciously choose self-care, you reclaim your power, making it easier to resist the manipulation or control that toxic people may exert over you. Practical self-care strategies. Create a self-care routine. Establishing a regular self-care routine is vital for maintaining consistency in your practices. This might include scheduling daily or weekly activities that promote relaxation and well-being, such as yoga, meditation, or engaging in hobbies you love. Consistency reinforces the habit of prioritizing self-care, making it easier to integrate into your life. Practice mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness practices can help you cultivate a sense of calm amidst the chaos of toxic relationships. Techniques such as meditation, deep breathing exercises, or simply taking a few moments to ground yourself can significantly reduce stress and anxiety. Mindfulness teaches you to focus on the present moment, allowing you to detach from the negativity around you and develop a clearer perspective on your experiences. Engage in physical activities. Incorporating regular exercise into your routine is crucial for boosting your mood and energy levels. Physical activity releases endorphins, which can counteract feelings of sadness or frustration brought on by toxic interactions. Whether it's a brisk walk, a workout at the gym, or a dance class, find an activity that you enjoy and commit to it. Connect with positive influences. Surrounding yourself with supportive, positive individuals is a key component of self-care. Make an effort to spend time with friends or family who uplift you, encourage you, and provide emotional support. Building connections with people who understand your struggles can enhance your overall well-being and provide a counterbalance to the negativity of toxic relationships. Set aside me time. Make a conscious effort to carve out time for yourself, free from distractions. Use this time to engage in activities that bring you joy, whether it's reading, pursuing a hobby, or simply relaxing in solitude. Prioritizing me time allows you to focus on your own needs and recharge your emotional batteries. Limit exposure to negativity. While it's important to confront toxic relationships, it's equally crucial to limit your exposure to negative influences. This might mean reducing contact with certain individuals, setting boundaries around conversations, or avoiding situations that drain your energy. By consciously choosing when and how to engage with toxic individuals, you protect your emotional health and create space for positive experiences. Reflect and journal. Journaling can be an incredibly therapeutic self-care practice. It allows you to process your thoughts and feelings, gain insights into your experiences, and track your emotional growth. Use journaling as a tool to reflect on your interactions with toxic individuals and to clarify your feelings about those experiences. This practice can help you gain perspective and empower you to make informed decisions about your relationships. Seek professional help. If you find it challenging to manage the emotional toll of toxic relationships on your own, consider seeking professional help. A therapist or counselor can provide valuable tools and strategies for coping with negativity and enhancing your self-care practices. Professional support can offer a safe space for exploring your feelings and developing effective coping mechanisms tailored to your unique situation. Engage in creative outlets. Channeling your emotions into creative outlets can be a powerful form of self-care, whether it's painting, writing, music, or any other creative endeavor. Expressing yourself artistically allows for emotional release and healing. Engaging in creativity can shift your focus from negativity to positivity, helping you find joy and fulfillment outside of toxic relationships. Conclusion. Prioritizing self-care is a fundamental aspect of navigating toxic relationships. It empowers you to take control of your emotional and mental well-being, providing the strength needed to resist negativity and cultivate a fulfilling life. By implementing practical self-care strategies, you not only protect yourself from the corrosive effects of toxic individuals, but also nurture your growth and happiness. Remember, self-care is not selfish. It's an essential practice that allows you to show up fully for yourself and others. By putting yourself first, you reclaim your power and create space for healthier, more positive relationships to flourish. Prioritize self-care and watch as your emotional resilience strengthens, enabling you to face the challenges of toxic interactions with confidence and grace. Number 10. Recognize you cannot fix everyone. One of the most challenging aspects of dealing with toxic individuals is the insidious belief that you can somehow fix or change them. Whether it's a friend, family member, or romantic partner, the desire to help those we care about can lead us down a path of emotional turmoil and frustration. Acknowledging that you cannot fix everyone is not just a lesson in humility. It's a crucial step towards protecting your own mental and emotional well-being. The burden of responsibility. Understanding the illusion of control. Toxic individuals often find themselves caught in cycles of manipulation, blame-shifting, and emotional dependency. This dynamic can create an illusion of control where you believe that your love, support, or intervention will bring about change in their behavior. However, this notion is fundamentally flawed. It's important to understand that true change comes from within. No matter how much you invest in trying to help someone, their willingness to change must come from their own desire to do so. Recognizing emotional drain. The emotional labor involved in trying to fix someone else can be exhausting. You may find yourself constantly analyzing their behavior, feeling responsible for their happiness, or even sacrificing your own needs to support them. This pattern not only drains your energy, but also diverts your focus away from your own personal growth and well-being. The more you invest emotionally in trying to save someone, the more likely you are to experience feelings of resentment, burnout, and frustration. This dynamic can leave you feeling trapped and helpless, caught in a cycle where your own needs are consistently deprioritized. Understanding your limits. Recognizing that you cannot fix everyone involves setting boundaries around your emotional investments. It's essential to understand your limits and acknowledge that you are not responsible for another person's healing or growth. This awareness allows you to step back and prioritize your own mental health. By accepting that you cannot control other people's actions, you liberate yourself from the weight of their expectations and the stress of feeling obligated to help them. The dynamics of toxic relationships. The cycle of guilt and obligation. Toxic individuals often manipulate those around them, leading to a cycle of guilt and obligation. They may make you feel responsible for their happiness, leading you to believe that you are to blame for their struggles. This dynamic creates a toxic environment where you feel compelled to change or fix them, even when it's clear that your efforts go unappreciated or ignored. It's crucial to recognize this manipulation and understand that you are not to blame for their emotional state. The myth of being a savior. The notion that you can be a savior for someone else is a dangerous myth. It perpetuates the idea that your worth is tied to your ability to help others, leading to unhealthy dynamics in your relationships. This mindset can create a false sense of purpose, where you derive your identity from being the one who helps or fixes others. However, this belief can ultimately lead to disappointment and disillusionment. When you realize that your efforts are not yielding the desired results, you may feel disheartened and question your self-worth. Learning to detach. Detachment does not mean abandoning those you care about. Rather, it means recognizing that their choices and behaviors are not your responsibility. It's about understanding that you can love and support someone without sacrificing your own well-being. By detaching from the need to fix others, you create a healthier dynamic in your relationships. You become more capable of offering support without losing yourself in the process. Embracing acceptance. Acceptance as a form of strength. Accepting that you cannot fix everyone is a powerful act of self-love and empowerment. It allows you to let go of unrealistic expectations and focus on your own growth and happiness. Acceptance does not imply giving up on someone. Rather, it means recognizing the limits of your influence. This shift in perspective empowers you to make healthier choices about the relationships you engage in. You become more discerning about where to invest your energy, ensuring that you are nurturing connections that are mutually beneficial. Shifting focus to your own growth. Once you acknowledge that you cannot fix others, you can redirect your energy towards your own healing and development. Focus on your passions, interests, and personal goals. Engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, rather than constantly pouring your energy into trying to change someone else. This shift allows you to reclaim your power and build a life that is aligned with your values and aspirations. When you prioritize your own growth, you create a positive ripple effect that can inspire those around you to seek their own paths of healing. Establishing healthy relationships. Recognizing your limitations fosters healthier relationships. You will find yourself drawn to people who respect your boundaries and contribute positively to your life. These relationships are based on mutual respect, support, and understanding, rather than one-sided emotional labor. In these healthier dynamics, you can offer support without feeling the weight of responsibility for another person's happiness. You'll discover that genuine connections flourish when both parties are invested in their own growth and well-being. The freedom of letting go. Reclaiming your time and energy. When you let go of the need to fix others, you free up valuable time and energy that can be redirected towards your own pursuits. This newfound freedom allows you to engage in self-care, develop your interests, and foster healthy relationships. You will find that prioritizing your own needs leads to a more balanced and fulfilling life, where you can thrive without being dragged down by the weight of someone else's struggles. Creating space for healing. Allowing yourself the freedom to step back from toxic relationships creates space for healing, both for yourself and for the other person. Sometimes people need to face their struggles alone to find their own path to healing. By stepping back, you enable them to confront their challenges without your interference. This space can be transformative, allowing both parties to grow independently. You'll discover that stepping away does not mean abandoning someone. It simply means recognizing that you are not responsible for their journey. Finding empowerment in acceptance. Acceptance is not synonymous with defeat. Rather, it is a powerful acknowledgement of reality. When you embrace the fact that you cannot fix everyone, you reclaim your power and agency over your own life. This empowerment opens doors to new opportunities, healthier relationships, and personal growth. You'll find that by letting go of the need to fix others, you create space for positive connections that uplift and inspire you. Conclusion. Recognizing that you cannot fix everyone is a liberating realization that enables you to protect your emotional and mental well-being. It allows you to step away from the burdens of guilt, obligation, and emotional drain that come with trying to change toxic individuals. By accepting this truth, you empower yourself to prioritize your own growth, happiness, and peace. Remember, you are not responsible for the choices or healing of others. Your focus should be on nurturing your own well-being and fostering relationships that bring positivity and fulfillment into your life. Embrace this realization as a catalyst for change and watch as you create a life that reflects your values, aspirations, and the healthy connections you deserve. Number 11. Use cognitive reframing. Cognitive reframing is a powerful psychological technique that can significantly enhance your emotional resilience, particularly when dealing with toxic individuals. This method involves shifting your perspective on a situation or individual, allowing you to reinterpret events in a way that reduces their emotional impact on you. When facing the negativity and manipulation often associated with toxic behavior, mastering cognitive reframing can be an invaluable tool in maintaining your mental well-being. Understanding cognitive reframing. The basics of cognitive reframing. At its core, cognitive reframing is about changing the way you perceive a situation. Instead of viewing it through a lens of negativity or victimhood, you consciously choose to see it in a different light, one that empowers you rather than diminishes your self-worth. This technique is rooted in cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, which emphasizes the relationship between thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. By altering your thought patterns, you can influence your emotional responses and ultimately your actions. Recognizing the power of perspective. Toxic people often thrive on their ability to manipulate situations to their advantage, making you feel guilty, inadequate, or responsible for their emotional state. They may twist facts, gaslight you, or project their insecurities onto you. This can create a distorted reality that leaves you questioning your own perceptions. Cognitive reframing allows you to step back from this emotional turmoil. By recognizing that their behavior is a reflection of their own issues rather than your inadequacies, you regain control over your emotional responses. Practical applications of cognitive reframing. Identifying the triggering situations. Begin by identifying situations that trigger negative feelings or emotional responses in you, especially those involving toxic individuals. This could be a conversation where you feel criticized, belittled, or manipulated. Once you recognize these triggers, you can consciously apply cognitive reframing techniques to reprocess the experience. Shifting the narrative. When you find yourself in a distressing interaction, pause and assess the situation. Ask yourself questions that prompt a shift in your thinking. For example, what evidence do I have that supports or contradicts this person's claims? How would I perceive this situation if I weren't emotionally invested? By intentionally examining the situation from different angles, you create an opportunity to challenge the negative narrative imposed by the toxic individual. Reinterpreting criticism. When faced with criticism from a toxic person, instead of internalizing their words as a reflection of your worth, reframe the criticism as a projection of their insecurities. For instance, if someone belittles your achievements, remind yourself that their behavior stems from their own feelings of inadequacy. This recognition allows you to detach your self-worth from their opinion, fostering a sense of empowerment. Using affirmations. Incorporate positive affirmations into your reframing practice. When confronted with negative statements or behaviors from toxic individuals, counteract them with affirmations that reinforce your self-esteem. For example, if someone tells you that you're not capable of achieving your goals, counter with, "I am capable and deserving of success." This shift not only helps combat the negativity, but also strengthens your resilience against future encounters. The benefits of cognitive reframing: emotional resilience. By consistently practicing cognitive reframing, you build emotional resilience. You become less reactive to the toxic behaviors of others and more capable of maintaining your emotional equilibrium. Over time, this practice helps you cultivate a mindset that prioritizes your well-being, enabling you to respond to challenges with greater clarity and strength. Reduced emotional drain. Cognitive reframing minimizes the emotional drain caused by toxic interactions. When you learn to reinterpret their behavior and detach your self-worth from their opinions, you no longer allow them to have power over your emotional state. This shift allows you to conserve your energy for more productive and fulfilling pursuits, rather than being preoccupied with the negativity of others. Improved interpersonal relationships. As you become more adept at cognitive reframing, you'll find that your overall approach to relationships improves. You'll be better equipped to navigate challenging interactions with a level head, reducing the likelihood of conflict. This newfound clarity can also help you foster healthier relationships as you become more discerning about who you allow into your life and how you respond to their behavior. Enhanced problem-solving skills. Cognitive reframing encourages a more flexible mindset, which can enhance your problem-solving abilities. When you view challenges as opportunities for growth, you become more adept at finding solutions rather than getting bogged down in negativity. This proactive approach empowers you to tackle difficult situations with confidence, leading to a greater sense of control over your life. Overcoming challenges with cognitive reframing. Addressing resistance. Initially, you may face resistance to cognitive reframing, particularly if you're accustomed to viewing situations through a negative lens. It may feel unnatural or even disingenuous to shift your perspective. Remember that reframing doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means choosing to focus on aspects that empower you rather than diminish you. With practice, this technique will become more intuitive and easier to implement. Maintaining consistency. Like any skill, cognitive reframing requires consistency to be effective. Make a conscious effort to apply this technique regularly, especially in interactions with toxic individuals. Keep a journal to document your experiences and the reframing strategies you employed. This will help reinforce the habit and track your progress over time. Seeking support. If you find it challenging to reframe certain situations, consider seeking support from trusted friends, family, or a mental health professional. They can provide valuable insights and help you gain perspective on your experiences. Engaging in discussions about your feelings can also help solidify your understanding of cognitive reframing, allowing you to explore different viewpoints and strategies. Conclusion. Cognitive reframing is a vital tool for maintaining your emotional well-being in the face of toxic behavior. By shifting your perspective and challenging negative narratives, you empower yourself to take control of your emotional responses. This technique fosters resilience, reduces emotional drain, and enhances your overall quality of life. Remember that while you cannot control the behavior of toxic individuals, you can control how you respond to them. By mastering cognitive reframing, you reclaim your power and create a mental framework that prioritizes your happiness and peace. Embrace this transformative technique and watch as it positively impacts your interactions, relationships, and overall outlook on life. Number 12. Practice forgiveness for your own peace. Forgiveness is often misconceived as an act that benefits the wrongdoer more than the victim. However, in the context of dealing with toxic individuals, forgiveness is primarily a gift you give to yourself. It's an essential step in your journey toward emotional freedom, mental clarity, and inner peace. By letting go of the burdens of resentment and anger, you can reclaim your emotional well-being and foster a healthier mindset. Understanding forgiveness. Defining forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about condoning or excusing the harmful actions of others. Instead, it's about releasing the emotional grip that these experiences have on you. It's a conscious decision to let go of the negative feelings associated with a painful event or relationship. This act allows you to move forward without being held back by the toxicity of past experiences. It's important to recognize that forgiveness is for you. It's about freeing yourself from the shackles of anger, bitterness, and resentment. The emotional toll of holding on. Holding on to grudges and resentment can be emotionally exhausting. It creates a toxic internal environment that affects your mental and physical health. Studies have shown that harboring anger can lead to increased stress, anxiety, and even physical ailments. When you cling to past hurts, you allow the toxic people in your life to continue influencing your emotions and state of mind, often long after the events have passed. This is why choosing to forgive is crucial for your overall well-being. The benefits of forgiveness. Emotional freedom. Practicing forgiveness frees you from the emotional chains that bind you to negative experiences. It liberates your mind and spirit, allowing you to focus on the present rather than dwelling on past hurts. This sense of freedom can be incredibly empowering, giving you the strength to pursue happiness and fulfillment without the burden of unresolved anger. Improved mental health. Numerous studies have indicated that forgiveness is linked to improved mental health outcomes, including lower levels of anxiety and depression. By letting go of grudges, you reduce the psychological stress that can lead to emotional turmoil. Forgiveness also enhances self-esteem and resilience, enabling you to bounce back from challenges with greater ease. Health benefits. The act of forgiving has been shown to have physical health benefits as well. People who practice forgiveness often experience lower blood pressure, reduced stress levels, and a strengthened immune system. By releasing negative emotions, you create a more positive internal environment that contributes to better overall health and longevity. Practical steps to practice forgiveness. Acknowledge your feelings. The first step in the forgiveness process is to acknowledge your feelings. It's important to recognize the pain, anger, and hurt you've experienced. Suppressing these emotions can lead to further emotional distress. Allow yourself to feel these emotions fully. Write in a journal or speak to a trusted friend or therapist about your experiences. This act of acknowledgement is crucial in your journey toward forgiveness. Understand the impact of toxic behavior. Reflect on how the toxic person's behavior has affected you. Recognize that their actions often stem from their own unresolved issues and insecurities. Understanding this can help you reframe your perspective on the situation. This doesn't mean excusing their behavior. Rather, it's about seeing their actions as a reflection of their struggles, not a measure of your worth. Choose to forgive. Forgiveness is a conscious choice. Decide that you want to let go of the anger and resentment that have been weighing you down. This choice is about reclaiming your power and prioritizing your emotional health. Remind yourself that forgiveness does not mean you have to forget or reconcile with the toxic person. It's about your healing process, not theirs. Practice forgiveness. Gradually, start small by practicing forgiveness for minor grievances. This can help you build the emotional muscle needed to tackle more significant hurts. As you let go of smaller irritations, you'll find it easier to approach larger issues. Over time, this practice will enhance your ability to forgive more substantial offenses, allowing you to cultivate a more forgiving mindset. Use visualization techniques. Visualization can be a powerful tool in the forgiveness process. Picture the person who has hurt you and visualize yourself releasing the negative emotions tied to them. Imagine cutting the emotional ties that bind you to their actions. This mental exercise can help solidify your commitment to forgiveness and facilitate emotional release. Engage in self-compassion. Practice self-compassion as you navigate the forgiveness process. Recognize that it's okay to feel hurt and that healing takes time. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding as you work through your emotions. Self-compassion allows you to forgive yourself for any perceived weaknesses or failures in handling the situation, creating a nurturing environment for your healing. Overcoming obstacles to forgiveness. Addressing resistance. It's common to encounter resistance when attempting to forgive, particularly if the pain is still fresh. Acknowledge this resistance as a normal part of the process. Understand that healing takes time and it's okay to move at your own pace. Remind yourself that forgiveness is a journey, not a destination. Celebrate the small steps you take toward letting go. Letting go of expectations. When forgiving someone, it's important to let go of any expectations regarding how they should respond. You may hope for an apology or a change in behavior, but these expectations can hinder your healing. Focus on your own healing rather than how the other person may react to your forgiveness. This shift in focus empowers you to take control of your emotional landscape. Creating healthy boundaries. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to continue engaging with toxic individuals. Establish healthy boundaries to protect yourself from further harm. This might involve limiting contact or distancing yourself from the person entirely. By creating boundaries, you ensure that you prioritize your well-being while still allowing yourself the freedom to forgive. Conclusion. Practicing forgiveness for your own peace is one of the most transformative acts you can undertake in the face of toxic behavior. By letting go of resentment and choosing to forgive, you liberate yourself from the emotional burdens that have been weighing you down. This decision is not about condoning the actions of others, but about reclaiming your power and prioritizing your mental and emotional well-being. As you navigate the journey of forgiveness, remember that it's a process that takes time and patience. Celebrate each step you take toward emotional freedom, knowing that you are creating space for healing, growth, and peace in your life. Ultimately, practicing forgiveness allows you to cultivate a mindset that nurtures your well-being, fostering a healthier relationship with yourself and the world around you. Number 13. When to walk away. One of the most powerful and liberating decisions you can make when dealing with toxic people is knowing when it's time to walk away. This is not a sign of weakness. Rather, it's a profound act of self-respect and self-preservation. The ability to recognize when a relationship is harmful and to take the necessary steps to extricate yourself from it is essential for your emotional, mental, and even physical well-being. Understanding the need to walk away. Recognizing toxic patterns. Toxic relationships often follow recognizable patterns: constant criticism, manipulation, emotional blackmail, or a lack of respect for your boundaries. These behaviors can wear you down over time, leading to feelings of inadequacy, resentment, and emotional exhaustion. It's important to recognize that toxicity is not always overt. Sometimes it can be subtle, masked as concern or love. Understanding the signs of toxicity, such as feeling drained, anxious, or fearful in someone's presence, can help you make the decision to walk away. The impact on your mental health. Toxic relationships can take a significant toll on your mental health. They can lead to increased stress, anxiety, and depression. If you find that your interactions with a particular person consistently leave you feeling anxious, unhappy, or unworthy, it's a sign that this relationship is detrimental to your well-being. Walking away from toxic individuals allows you to prioritize your mental health, creating space for healing and personal growth. The empowering decision to leave. Walking away is a strength, not a weakness. Many people fear the repercussions of leaving a toxic relationship, such as guilt, sadness, or loneliness. However, walking away is an act of strength. It signifies that you value yourself enough to refuse to be mistreated. Remember, you are not responsible for the emotional well-being of toxic individuals. Their inability to respect your boundaries or provide support is not a reflection of your worth. It's an indication of their issues. Setting healthy boundaries. Before you walk away, consider setting clear boundaries with the toxic person. Communicate your needs and the behaviors that you will no longer tolerate. This may not always lead to a resolution, but it establishes your commitment to your own well-being. If, after setting boundaries, the toxic behavior continues, it becomes clear that you have done what you can to salvage the relationship. At this point, it may be time to consider walking away. Signs: it's time to walk away. Consistent disrespect. If someone consistently disrespects your boundaries, belittles you, or dismisses your feelings, it's a clear sign that they do not value you as a person. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect. If that respect is lacking, it may be time to reassess your connection. You deserve relationships where your feelings and boundaries are honored, not trampled upon. Emotional manipulation. Toxic individuals often resort to emotional manipulation to maintain control. If you find yourself feeling guilty for wanting to prioritize your needs, or if the person often shifts the blame onto you, these are signs of manipulation. Recognizing this behavior is crucial. No one should have the power to manipulate your emotions or make you feel responsible for their happiness. Feeling drained or exhausted. If you consistently feel drained after interacting with someone, it's a strong indicator that the relationship is toxic. This emotional exhaustion can manifest as fatigue, irritability, and an overall sense of unhappiness. Your energy should be uplifted and supported in healthy relationships, not depleted. If you find that being around someone always leaves you feeling worse, consider whether it's time to walk away. Lack of reciprocity. Healthy relationships involve give and take. If you're always the one making sacrifices while the other person takes without giving back, it's a clear indication of an imbalanced dynamic. This lack of reciprocity can lead to feelings of resentment and frustration. Relationships should nourish both parties. If you find yourself constantly giving and not receiving support, it may be time to reassess your involvement with that person. The process of walking away. Preparing for the departure. Walking away from a toxic relationship can be daunting, particularly if there are emotional ties or shared history. Take the time to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally for the decision to leave. Create a support system of friends or family who can provide encouragement and understanding during this transition. Having a support network can help you feel less isolated as you make this significant change. Choosing the right moment. When deciding to walk away, consider choosing a moment that feels right for you. This could be after a particularly draining encounter or after reaching a breaking point. Plan your departure thoughtfully. If the relationship involves ongoing interactions, like in a workplace or family scenario, consider how you can minimize future contact in a way that feels safe for you. Communicating your decision. When you're ready to walk away, consider communicating your decision to the toxic individual. Be clear and firm about your choice, but also recognize that you do not owe them an explanation. Keep your communication as concise and respectful as possible. The goal is to assert your boundaries without getting entangled in further emotional manipulation. After the decision, embrace your freedom. Once you've walked away, allow yourself to embrace the newfound freedom that comes with distancing yourself from toxic individuals. Celebrate your decision as a victory for your emotional well-being. Use this time to focus on yourself, your passions, and your personal growth. Rediscovering your identity outside of the toxic relationship can be incredibly empowering. Reflect on the experience. Take time to reflect on what you've learned from the relationship. Understanding the patterns that led to toxicity can help you make more informed choices in future relationships. Use this reflection to strengthen your boundaries and recognize red flags early on in future interactions. Building healthier relationships. With toxic individuals out of your life, you can now focus on building healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, respect you, and share your values. Investing in positive connections will reinforce your sense of self-worth and contribute to your overall happiness. Conclusion. Knowing when to walk away from toxic relationships is one of the most empowering decisions you can make for your emotional and mental well-being. It's a testament to your strength and commitment to self-respect. While the process of walking away can be challenging, it ultimately opens the door to healing, growth, and healthier connections. By recognizing the signs of toxicity, setting firm boundaries, and taking the courageous step to leave, you reclaim your power and create space for relationships that nourish your spirit. Remember, you deserve peace, happiness, and fulfillment in your life, and walking away from toxicity is a vital step in achieving those goals. Conclusion. As we wrap up this journey through the complexities of navigating toxic relationships, remember that you hold the power to shape your emotional reality. The strategies we've discussed today, identifying toxic behavior, understanding that it's not personal, setting clear boundaries, mastering non-reaction, and knowing when to walk away, are not just tools. They are your armor against the negativity that can infiltrate your life. It's crucial to recognize that you are not responsible for fixing others. The burden of someone else's emotional health should never fall on your shoulders. Instead, focus on nurturing your own well-being. Prioritize self-care, surround yourself with a supportive network, and practice forgiveness, not for the sake of the toxic individuals, but for your peace of mind. In the face of toxic behavior, remember that your happiness and mental health are paramount. You deserve relationships that uplift and empower you, not ones that drain your spirit. By implementing these strategies, you can reclaim your power, cultivate healthier connections, and ultimately lead a life filled with joy and fulfillment. Thank you for joining us today. If you found these insights valuable, consider subscribing to our channel for more empowering content like this. Together, we can create a community of individuals who refuse to be controlled by toxic influences and who champion the importance of emotional well-being. Remember, you are not alone in this journey, and you have the strength to reclaim your life from toxic relationships. Stay strong, prioritize your peace, and take the steps necessary to build the life you deserve. Until next time, take care of yourself.